track across Pennsylvania, not only tonight, but tomorrow. So here's the radar. This is kind of the one component of this storm, rain. It's been moving through central and northeast PA over the last couple of hours. For the most part, it's on the light to moderate side, but we are going to see that pick up a little bit. Perhaps you can make out some yellows here. Perhaps a sign of some of the heavier rain that's to come. Right now, we're tracking rain across parts of Lackawanna, Luzerne, Wyoming, Wayne, Pike, and Monroe counties tonight. Rain is here, and it will be with us through morning. It's wet and it's warm in downtown Scranton. It's 45. Look at that dew point, now near 40. Dew points in the 30s and 40s through morning. That is going to cause us some pretty significant snow melt, so look for a lot of it to be gone Friday morning. Temperatures are running in the 40s right now. It will get warmer overnight. It's going to be an opposite night, but that's not going to last for very long. Connor, we're going to time out the rain. We're going to talk about the wind, and we'll get you into a quieter weekend forecast. I'll see you in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, Josh, thank you. There's a major break in the case of the deadly shooting at Brown University in Providence, Rhode Island. After several days of appealing to the public for help, police say the man they were searching for was found dead in Salem, New Hampshire storage unit. Police identified the man as 48-year-old Claudio Neves Valente and say he was a Brown University student. He was found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound with a satchel and 2 firearms. Officials now say they're looking into connection between the shooting and the killing of MIT professor 2 days later. The NASCAR world is mourning the death of a retired driver, Greg Biffle, after a tragedy in North Carolina. Biffle and his immediate family were killed in a small plane crash today. His wife, Christina, and their 2 children, ages 5 and 14, are among the seven killed. The business jet crashed and burst into flames this morning while returning to Statesville Regional Airport shortly after it took off from there. Biffle is remembered by local NASCAR fans for his 2010 Sprint Cup Series Pennsylvania 500 victory at Pocono Raceway. It snapped a 64-race winless streak for Roush Fenway Racing. Greg Biffle would have been 56 years old next week. A local congressman was one of 4 House Republicans to defy Speaker Mike Johnson on the extension of pandemic-era health care subsidies set to expire at the end of this year. The move now forces a House vote in hopes of extending those subsidies for 3 more years. 2822's Avery Nape met with Congressman tonight to find out what influenced his decision and expected from party leaders.
Customers with Affordable Care Act health insurance plans are breathing a sigh of relief Thursday after 4 Republicans joined Democrats to force a vote to extend ACA tax credits for 3 more years. Congressman Rob Bresnahan is one of those who stepped across the aisle.
What I couldn't sit by and allow was for the rug to be ripped out from underneath people without Congress doing their jobs.
House Speaker Mike Johnson refusing to hold a floor vote on the issue. Those subsidies are set to expire at the end of the year, potentially driving up health care costs for millions.
The only thing worse than the 3-year extension, in my opinion, would be letting these things expire.
Bresnahan says while it wasn't something he intended on supporting, he wasn't left with many options.
This was never something that I even considered signing. I mean, I don't think extending the enhanced premium tax credits for 3 years is the most prudent thing to do. However, watching people not be able to afford health insurance certainly isn't something that I can sit idly by and watch either.
Despite bipartisan concessions, there's no guarantee the extension will pass. 218 signatures are required to force a vote on the House floor, but even if passed, it would then need the Senate's approval, leaving the fate of the tax credit extension stuck in limbo for the time being. Avery Nape, 2822 News.
Now, Congressman Bresnahan was joined by 2 other Pennsylvania Republicans, Congressman McKenzie and Fitzpatrick, as well as Congressman Lawler of New York. The House is expected to vote on the extension in January. A bill moving through Pennsylvania legislature could soon change the way Pennsylvania's hospitality industry does business. The bill is all in an effort to stop human trafficking. It would require hospitality workers to receive training on how to spot the warning signs and report it. Throughout the years, Monroe County has had its fair share of human trafficking incidents. In the Poconos, resorts like Kalahari welcome visitors from all over the country. Industry leaders at this resort already had training set up prior to this bill.
What we're trying to do is we're trying to create places for families to have vacations, for people to come and have great meetings, for people to go and enjoy themselves. And we don't want to have this nefarious activity going on in our establishments.
The bill is now headed to the state Senate. If it is approved, the training will be mandatory for hospitality workers throughout the Commonwealth. A Sunbury man faces more than 4 decades in prison for a deadly bar shooting. A judge sentenced 45-year-old Randy Easton on Wednesday. Easton was convicted of shooting and killing 33-year-old Joseph Rice. The shooting happened in 2023 outside Laufer's Bar in Sunbury, where Easton was just leaving. Easton was convicted of a felony voluntary manslaughter and not more serious charges, but he pled guilty to other felony counts, which increased his prison sentence to 42 years. A man is dead after a car crash in Lycoming County. 66-year-old Dermot McDonald collided with a transit bus on West 4th Street at the intersection of Poplar Street and Williamsport. McDonald was taken to the hospital where he died from his injuries on Tuesday. The investigation into the cause of the crash remains under investigation. More than a dozen people are out of their homes 1 week before Christmas after a fire in Scranton. Crews were called this morning to the burning home on Music Street between Prospect and South Webster Avenues. No one was hurt, but crews got the flames under control in a matter of minutes. All 13 displaced are getting help from the Red Cross. A city fire inspector is looking for the cause of the fire on Scranton's south side. The twin bridges at the 84-380 split in Dunmore are now open. PennDOT says the westbound bridge reopened this afternoon ahead of schedule following 5 years of construction. The project also includes rehabilitation of the abandoned Erie and Wyoming Railroad Bridge for future integration into the Lackawanna County Trail Corridor. Completion of this project is anticipated for next summer. The Shapiro administration is working to recruit and maintain workers in the child care industry. The Commonwealth is now accepting applications for child care worker bonuses. $25 million in funding outside of the state budget is set to go to 55,000 child care workers in 2026. That money will give each child care worker at least $450 in retention bonuses. Additional funding may also be available for recruitment. Child care workers say this is a long time coming.
It's about time we're valued. We are the heart of everything. Parents wouldn't be able to work if they didn't have childcare.
We've worked so hard with these kids, and I feel like we don't get the recognition that we should.
The Commonwealth currently has 3,000 vacant jobs in the child care sector. Filling those jobs would allow 25,000 more children to have access to these services. Lackawanna College is looking towards the future with a groundbreaking ceremony. The school broke ground today on a new 17,000 square foot facility in downtown Scranton. The building will hold the college's new Center for Technology Innovation. Many of the programs are currently online, but the new building will allow program directors to teach in person. Lackawanna College's president says they're always looking to innovate to serve their workforce while keeping the education costs down.
We're going to make investments from our community and our community partners to help us afford to build these projects and to build these technologies and to make sure that the students are learning in the best environments possible without putting that cost of that building on their backs.
Construction of the new Lackawanna College Center for Technology Innovation building is set to be completed by summer of 26. Now to a real blessing for families in need in the Poconos. A blessing box now stands outside Pocono Mounds Association of Realtors building in Stroudsburg. Dozens came out for the blessing box dedication ceremony today. The mission of the box is to provide essential resources for the community during difficult times, not only during the holidays, but also year-round.
We wanted to make a situation here so that if you're in need, you don't have to give someone your social security number. You don't have to talk about your financial challenges. All you have to do is walk up, grab something, and you have a belly full for that evening.
Donations can include anything from canned goods to hygiene products. Well, questions continue over the taxpayer-funded upgrades at the governor's private home, why one Pennsylvania senator is raising concerns. Still ahead on 2822 News. And another batch of photos released from the Jeffrey Epstein estate. The latest, as all the DOJ has until tomorrow to release those files.
Forecasts.
The governor's residence has been cleaned up from an arson attack in April, and the man who did it is now behind bars, but questions remain in the aftermath. Taxpayers have spent $32 million repairing and bolstering security at the state-owned governor's residence in Harrisburg. But there's an additional $1.3 million being spent on the Shapiro's personal home. State police recommended those upgrades. Senator Christian Phillips Hill from York County is introducing a bill to put a lien on any private property that has been upgraded with state funds. She says taxpayers need to be protected.
Many of us don't believe that this comports with existing law, but if the money's going out the door, how do we make taxpayers whole?
I think that's pretty shameful to try and score a cheap political point at the expense of my family's safety, but that speaks to their character, not mine.
The governor did seek guidance from Ethics Commission, but also there are questions about that. Senate Republicans want a timeline and have insinuated the work had begun on the private property and money spent before the Ethics Commission was consulted. Police have charged 7 people with a sophisticated snap trafficking operation in Dauphin County. Prosecutors say it illegally processed more than $775,000 in fraudulent transactions over the course of 3 years. The Office of the State Inspector General and the Dauphin County District Attorney's Office says this centered on the Quick Stop convenience store in Steelton. They say the scheme involves exchanging SNAP benefits for cash at a fraction of the value. The store's owner and 3 employees are charged, along with 3 SNAP recipients. The state treasury has mailed nearly 100,000 checks to Pennsylvania residents. This is part of the state's Money Match program, returning unclaimed cash to residents. This is the first year for the program. The money comes from sources like uncashed checks, forgotten stocks, and dormant bank accounts. This latest round of checks total more than $22 million. Well, a new executive order from President Trump is reclassifying marijuana. What it means for the future of the substance, coming up on 2822 News.
This
Justice Department has until tomorrow to release its files on the Jeffrey Epstein case. Today, House Democrats released more photos from the estate of the convicted sex offender. Included in them are images of Epstein appearing to write on young women or girls, and an excerpt of a text message showing a discussion about sending girls and a cost per girl. There are worries that not all the files will be released, with Attorney General Pam Bondi saying the Justice Department will investigate Democrats on the list, which could lead to the files being withheld from the public. Luigi Mangione's pretrial hearings wrapped up with a New York judge saying he will rule in May on what evidence prosecutors may use. Nearly 20 witnesses were called over 3 weeks, many of them with the Altoona Police Department, who arrested Mangione last year. Hearings focused mainly on the evidence Altoona police recovered from Mangione and whether or not it can be used in the murder case of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. The defense has until January 29th to submit their arguments. Prosecutors have until March 5th. President Trump has signed an executive order to reclassify marijuana as a less dangerous drug. The order shifts marijuana from a Schedule I drug like heroin to a Schedule III substance like ketamine. The change won't legalize recreational use nationwide, but it may alter regulations and taxations and expand medical research. According to the bipartisan National Conference of State Legislators, 40 states have legalized medical marijuana and 24 states allow recreational use. Presidential plaque problems. President Trump unveiled portraits and plaques on his presidential Walk of Fame at the White House. However, the president has received tons of backlash when describing his fellow presidents, calling former President Joe Biden sleepy, Barack Obama as divisive, and Ronald Reagan as a fan of young Trump. In our Instapoll question of the day, we asked, what should the next president do with the new plaques in the White House? Here's a final look at the voting. Majority is saying remove them. Come back tomorrow for another Instapoll question of the day. 2822 News will be right back with a check on the forecast.
Wawa.
Well, Josh, we have a lot of rain, a lot of wind, and it seems like rough weather coming ahead of us for the weekend.
A bit, especially tomorrow. So you've been kind of working a long day today.
Yes, yeah.
So you get to sleep in a little bit tomorrow. So that's probably a good thing, though. Because I'll tell you what, 6, 8, 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, it's not exactly going to be pleasant. And we'll walk you through why. Right now we're watching this rain come in. This is going to be off and on rain for the next several hours. Most of the rain that has been falling over the last 2-3 hours has been on the light, if not moderate side. We are tracking some pockets of heavier rain through Susquehanna, Lackawanna, and Wayne counties right now near Honesdale and Dyeberry Township. We're also showing some pockets of heavy rain near White Deer Township and Lewisburg, just outside of Sunbury too. It's wet, it's warm in Pottsville. It is 37. This is actually at the Schuylkill County Airport, but when these two numbers line up, that's a pretty good indication that there's some fog, especially on the hilltops. Most of us are in the 40s. It's going to be an opposite night. And by opposite, I mean temperatures will slowly rise. In fact, I think Friday morning is probably going to be pretty warm, upper 40s and low 50s. Off and on rain with us for the next couple of hours. In fact, right through about 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. But what I want to do is draw your attention to 6 o'clock and this line of rain right here. That is what we call a squall line. That's going to move through between 6 and 10 o'clock. There will be heavy rain and gusty winds, and that's likely going to be when we see the heaviest rain throughout this whole storm system between 6 and 10 o'clock in the morning. With the warm temperatures, the rain is going to be a lot of this. The combination of the two could lead to some minor flooding on roads, areas of poor drainage. We're not expecting big, widespread problems, but it's probably going to slow you down a little bit on your drive to work and school. Windy out of the gate first thing in the morning. We get a little break late morning, early afternoon, but that wind fires right back up later tomorrow afternoon. Gusting 35 to 50. When the wind is that strong, that's enough to cause isolated power outages, some minor damage, and it's probably going to toss around some of those outdoor holiday decorations. It will be quiet and seasonably cold for the weekend. So the roughest weather will be for about the next 12 to perhaps 15 hours. Your future alert weather forecast: periods of rain tonight. Some of it will be heavy. It will be windy, and temperatures will rise into the upper 40s and low 50s. This high temperature tomorrow, that happens in the morning. Rain comes through, maybe even a rumble of thunder Friday morning. How about that? Windy basically all day, but by later in the afternoon, it will get colder, and we have the chance of a snow shower. With all of this weather happening tomorrow, that is why we made it a weather alert day. Quiet weather over the weekend. Monday, not so bad. Tuesday, a mix of rain and snow showers. Wednesday should be fine for Christmas Eve, and right now we're forecasting some snow and rain showers for Christmas Day itself. Connor, 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. Williamsport, Bloomsburg getting the rough weather. Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, Poconos, probably about 8 to 10 o'clock. Take it easy in the morning. Just give yourself some extra travel time.
Yeah, I'll definitely make sure my mom and dad know as well. On their morning commute to work, well, like you said, I'll probably be sleeping at that point.
Wake them up and let them know.
I'll make sure to let them know. Josh, I appreciate it. Thank you. Well, high school basketball on this Thursday night, plus how Jalen Hurts views the final 3 games of this season. Nick Salai joins us live in studio with 28-22 Sports. Nick, how are we?
Thanks, Connor. The Eagles can seal the NFC East for a second straight year on Saturday when they traveled to D.C. against the Commanders and do something that hasn't been done in 2 decades. There hasn't been a back-to-back division winner in the East since the Birds won 4 in a row from 2000, but the importance of those games remains at a high level for Jalen Hurts, who says they have to play their best football here in December.
October. Important games, you kind of find yourself. It's a new team, you find your groove, but real things are found in December, January, and February. And so I think just being built off of perseverance, being built off of learning from all of my experiences and learning from everything, you definitely look forward to those moments.
Kickoff for the Eagles and Commanders, 5 on Saturday night. Philadelphia on the road, 7-point favorites over Washington. Let's go to the hardwood, shall we? Scranton High School, where the Knights welcome in a 4-1 North Pocono team. Scranton jumping out to a fast start. In the second, it's Riley Bell splitting the defense and floats it in. But the Trojans leaning on the Clementonis. It's Ella bursting to the cup in a soft touch at the rim. Back and forth we go in the third quarter. Chrissy Jacklinski in transition, up and around with some English on that layup. She scores a team-high 12 points, but later in the frame, the Trojans start to pull away. It's Ella, Clementoni from the corner, all three of those. The sisters playing like it's in the backyard again. Ella on a nice give-and-go play, finding little sis Anna. Clementoni with a game-high 19 points as North Pocono wins a tough division battle over the Knights, 39-33.
The kids executed when we needed it. We saved one in our back pocket. We made some adjustments at halftime, but all the credit goes to the kids. Your two best players come through when you need them. And I told our kids we were going to be in for a battle, and we were ready for it. And fortunately, we came out on top.
He believes in all of us, and that really helps because sometimes we all get down and on ourselves, but he just keeps us high in our spirits. And we only lost one senior last year, so we've been playing from last year to this year, and it's been new since I'm a sophomore, but he's a great coach.
Let's head over to District 4. First chance to see this talented Central Columbia team, and they showed off some good ball movement. There's Jada Tucker, bucket and the foul. Loyalsock responds on the other end. Off the inbounds, Madison Perry hits the lay-in, but this Lady Jays offense revolving around Quinion Blake tonight. She scores 24, including that corner three. Central up 10 after 1 in the second. It's Abby Wellenkop from straight away, draining the triple. 4 straight wins to open the season for Central as they beat the Lancers in a big way, 74-50. That's all for sports. We'll be right back.
Well, that's going to do it for 2822 News at 11. To get the latest news and weather updates, head to 2822news.com. Have a great rest of your night. Have an even better Friday.
The person who owns this truck must be watching this thinking to himself, my goodness.
Caught on camera. Sparks fly as a pickup truck reported stolen in San Bernardino crosses county lines into LA. Can the suspect get away before the truck gives out? Then, officers respond to reports of a man brandishing a firearm on a Metro rail platform in Long Beach. When the suspect flees, police are left with few options.
Freeze! On the ground! Right now!
And a driver in a stolen Jeep works to evade officers on the 10 freeway.
The high rate of speed, this is not good because he's got traffic, he's got nowhere to go. Oh, man.
When he abandons the car in an underground parking lot, a different kind of search begins. When every second counts and every decision could be life or death, watch these incidents unfold from KTLA's Eye in the Sky and the body cameras of those who risk it all. This is Caught on Camera.
Breaking news, CHP officers in pursuit of a pickup truck hit Santa Clarita.
Gil Levis overhead in Sky 5. Gil.
Well, Sharon, Mikey, you see this pickup truck southbound 14 freeway approaching the 5 freeway and the Newhall Pass. As I come out to a wide shot, you'll see
a team of CHP officers in trail along with an airship overhead. Now we're trying to get confirmation on what the want was on this pursuit. Initially, it was running at high speeds northbound 14. In fact, it was heading up into the Palmdale, Lancaster area when it turned around and started coming southbound. Now, the speeds were up to like 100 miles an hour.